Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kurash, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center, where I'm excited to be joined by Santa Barbara City College Interior Design Professor Diana Costilla and two of her fabulous students who have created design vignettes in our store. Diana, thank you for being here. Can you kindly please introduce the students?
Absolutely. So this is Alexandra Foskey, and she's going to do an outdoor theme this time. And this is Carlos, and he's going to do an interior theme.
Beautiful. So let's go and see what they have done. Okay, today we are at Carlos Cruz's vignette. You have done this thing very nicely, efficiently, and I have to tell you, it came out very nice. I was pleasantly surprised to see this thing.
Thank you.
And tell us about what did you do, what was the motivation, and who's the client?
Well, that's an easy question. I am the client. And if anything, this is my dream living room. If I just had a credit card with no limit, and I said, well, what do I want? How do I want it? It'd be everything you see here.
The good part is no limits. It's just very inexpensive. You can have all of it.
Right.
All right. So tell us what you do. Why would you pick this sofa and the matching chairs and so on?
Well, I started with the rug, which I think was a piece of advice I got from you, actually.
Thank you so much.
And it makes a lot of sense because it kind of helps you decide how big is your space going to be within the space. And you can kind of think about the inside and the outside. And so there's a lot going on in the center, but I also wanted to have a lot going on the outside, on the periphery of it.
You know, actually, this is what I learned from all the high-end interior decorators. They start from the ground up. So the floor and then the carpet, and then that dictates most what's good around. A lot of people start the opposite. They start with a piece of art, and then they're stuck in those colors and the dimensions and so on. You did wonderful. So, and the sofa you picked actually is kind of transitional look. Is that on purpose? Is that your style? Is that your taste? What is it?
Well, I've been told that my style in general is more of it's more about contrast, where I like to call it balance, but I guess it depends on your perspective. So the sofa, as it stands alone, is not really a piece I considered in that sense. I want to think about it as how it would work as a whole. So we have this lighter color palette with a little bit of color thrown in, and then the chairs do the same thing with your lighter natural toned wood. You have your light gray fabric, and again, some color on the chairs.
It looks very warm and cohesive, and at the same time, you took colors that are the opposite of the spectrum. You took the oranges with yellows, and then you have the blues over there. You have beautifully mixed them together, and they work nicely together.
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely part of the approach in choosing fabric. And again, I didn't want the seats themselves to be the stars of the show. I wanted to kind of let them be the backdrop for color to really pop on.
All right, and then you picked a Buddha there.
Yeah, so the sideboard I chose because it has this darker color palette, and I thought it would be a great contrast against the sideboard on the other end with the darker color palette on the edge, but you have those lighter colors in the center. And what I really liked about the Buddha is it has that rustic, antique look. You know, it's been here for a while. And then, again, that's a contrast with the other sideboard, which is more modern and clean. They're totally opposites, but I think they really work well together.
It seems like you take the opposite ends and connect them together. It's just going around and around. It's a nice theme you have out here. And then you have this beautiful bookcase behind us, which that's a little more modern looking. Yeah,
I really like the bookcase because it lets you organize a lot of interesting pieces, but it's not just a tall rectangle. It's got a lot going on. It's really like you've joined a bunch of different disparate pieces together into something greater when they're a whole, which is kind of the idea I wanted to put forward with the room in general.
That sounds good. And then lastly but not least is the mirror and the chandelier.
Yeah, the mirror was maybe one of the tougher things to choose. One, there's many options to choose from, but two, I didn't want something that was too over the top, but I also didn't want something, again, that's just a boring rectangle to look at. So I think there's a good balance between what being too over the top and being more restrained. The chandelier, I thought I already had a lot going on in general, so I wanted something that was a little cleaner and simpler just again, to balance between everything else.
And I see you picked actually the same texture as well as the material goes. So they're both the same wrought iron color and they're metal.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know if you did it on purpose or deep down there you're a very good designer.
Let's just say it was on purpose then, yeah.
All right, sounds beautiful. I think this vignette looks fantastic and I'm looking forward to see what Diana has to say about that.
Thank you.
So, Carlos, on a private note, I know Santa Barbara City College is one of the top 10 colleges in the United States. What has your experience been there and how is the interior design program has worked for you?
Well, it's been a lot of fun, and I've been interested to a degree in interior design for a few years now. I've been working at a local paint store, Goleta Valley Paint, for 6 or 7 years at this point, and I think that's where I really realized that I really liked helping people kind of choose how they would organize their rooms, because sure, we focus on color mainly, but eventually they start asking, well, what do you think about this sideboard? What do you think about this couch? And it seemed like it came very naturally to me. Now, the experience at the college has been really great. All the teachers are really easygoing and laid back, and they're always very helpful. And Armando is just an amazing teacher, and I'm really glad he's the head of the department. Anytime I feel like I'm lost and I really need some help, he's always there.
That's great. Well, that's a wonderful experience. Stay tuned. Next, we're going to go to an outdoor vignette and see what Alex has done there.
Santa Barbara Design Center presents Hooker Furniture. Come tour the Hooker Furniture collection at our fabulous Santa Barbara Design Center showroom, 410 Olive Street.
This week on Design FYI, we're going to talk about sofas and the unknown mistakes people make. Did you know average American spends 46 minutes a day in a car? But they spend 5 hours and 4 minutes on average on a sofa. So why would you go out there and spend tens of thousands of dollars for something you use for 46 minutes and then go ahead and buy something cheap that you sit on it for 5 hours and 4 minutes? At Santa Barbara Design Center, we create your custom sofa that is made for you specifically and to your shape and size and comfort and your family. So when you're sitting and watching TV or talking and conversing with your friends, you're sitting on actually something that represents you. Your car represents you, why shouldn't your sofa? Thank you for joining us on Design FYI this week, and please come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive, and let me help you find the right sofa for you and your family. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are at the Santa Barbara Design Center, as you know, and we have Alex doing our very first outdoor vignette. And you did a wonderful job before we start, and this is the very first. And please explain to us what you have done.
Okay, so first I started with these Audubon prints, and I took the colors and I just worked with that palette and created a little vignette that would be inspired by those, sort of like a jungle theme, but more like refined. Later on I found this rug, the zebra print, that would be cute to add in just for, again, that jungle theme. Walking through the showroom is where I started to pick up accessories and other items that kind of fit the prints and the colors that were in there. And I found just this little leopard that's a little antique, and he was just a playful little addition. Found some great accessories that had blues and greens. There's little encyclopedias that kind of go with the Audubon prints, like sort of things that tie together in a narrative almost. And then we found these great stools that kind of are I wanted wood, but I felt like that would just make it a little bit too heavy. So these colors in them and the shininess just added more, I guess, character to the space. Just added some foliage, the little turtle shell, again, just to play with the animals. And the maritime clock is sort of like a nod to Santa Barbara and the harbor and ocean and everything.
You did very good, actually. So what I noticed first is everything has a innuendo. It matches something else a little bit far away. But like, for instance, that zebra, which is an African animal per se, and then you have an antique African art on the floor, and then you have the foliage, and then you have the birds, and then you take this foliage and put it in that pillow. It just, the whole thing has double and triple layers over each other. That's very good, and it shows, again, you do it from sense inside, not outside. It's just like, I see it, is you're talented doing that thing. It's beautiful. And these are actually, by the way, all outdoors, and they all work pretty beautifully together, and it looks like you want to stay here and don't go anywhere else.
Right.
All right, you also did the dinette. Can you tell us about that?
Okay, so first I found a rug that I liked, and
that's the best thing you have done so far, I have to tell you.
No, I love the rug because, first of all, I love Moroccan rugs. They're just always amazing looking, and the green is sort of like, I play with it as sort of like a grassy texture in the space, so I'm imagining all this on someone's terrace or by their pool, just to hang out and have fun, but that kind of brings it out. Okay, so then I added a bar cart just to add to the entertainment side of Santa Barbara that's always there.
What do you mean, Santa Barbara's drink a lot?
Yeah, right. And then with the table, I didn't want to keep the same chairs all around, just to add some character out of these little striped guys, just to liven up the table.
This is very interesting what you did, actually, because usually everybody else, like a normal person goes shopping, they always get the ends also matching the chairs, the side chairs, and this time you did it differently. And surprisingly, they're different material, different colors, and they tie very good together. Because of that, I think the white strip matches the rest of the white very nicely.
Yeah, I like doing that with tables. It just adds, I feel like, a little bit more of a memorable feel to it. And then just by going through the showroom, I found more accessories and items that kind of still pulled from that color palette. This case, mostly blue, and then these brass candle holders sort of match with this bamboo feel that I get from the table, how it's woven. Added some eucalyptus in just for, you know, some more foliage and some fruit for just flair, but yeah.
And then you had this light hanging there, which is actually adds quite a lot to that beautiful umbrella. The umbrella is beautiful, but this thing makes it a lot more, how do you call it, party theme.
Yeah,
and
I can imagine people sitting out here at night and having them on, and I really like just the top of the umbrella too. It has this kind of abstract polka dot going on.
I think it's more like leopard skin, actually, believe it or not, which you picked
with.
over there. That I didn't miss. Nice.
Yeah, I like everything to sort of tie into a similar story, and I feel like it was fun creating that with an outdoor space and the animal prints.
And actually, we'll have to say you went and bought those eucalyptus leaves, and you went out of your way to bring fruit, and you know, hopefully we're gonna have a party after the show. Yeah. All right, it is fantastic. I mean, I really like it the way you put these two vignettes together, and this again is our very first outdoor vignette we have done at the City College's Design Studios, and this is beautiful. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to see what Diana Costilla has to say about it.
Thank you.
All right.
Come feel the comfort of Omnia leather at Santa Barbara Design Center. Made from the finest materials and assembled right here in the U.S., Omnia is the top name in designer leather sofas, sectionals, and chairs. Choose from numerous styles, fabrics, and finishes to create your custom comfort experience. Omnia Leather at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street.
Today on Design FYI, we're going to talk about what not to buy when you're going shopping for rugs. Most big outlets or national chains, they sell nowadays hand-tufted rugs. This sounds like it's hand knotted, it's done by hand, but actually they are not. It's called hand-tufted, and it's actually a gun that rolls the wool around the warp, and they are not good rugs at all. So this is a sample we're having here for you to see. Anything that has a backing like this, flip your rugs over at home, see if it has a backing, is absolutely not good. So what it does is it hides what they did below this thing, which is a latex glue, which actually is toxin. And if you have got any rugs over the net, I hate to say it, over the net, because it's easy to sell and they're inexpensive, you buy these things over the internet. So when it comes to your house, they smell. Have you noticed that? They smell more like a gasoline or more like a diesel because they don't let the latex cure. And the latex that glues this wool to this backing smells a lot. On top of that, they shed quite a lot. The wool is cheap because they need to be inexpensive, and they shed. I would not recommend you to get anything, again, that has a backing and is glued, because it comes apart very easily. It is temporary. It is not a green product because they wear very quickly, end up in the fill, and just basically as a landfill junk we are adding to our planet. The things I would recommend you to get, unlike these things that have backing, is the rugs that they have nuts to them. So as what to buy, I highly recommend you to get some rugs that they are hand knotted. And how you can see, flip it to the back, and you can see the knots are done individually, and each one is slightly different than the next one because they're done by hand, and the intensity of the wool and the pull they have, the weaver, makes them look different. Also, the sides are done by hand. That you can see very easily. If you want to buy a real rug, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center and I can gladly help you. Thank you for joining us on Design FYI, Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive.
Santa Barbara Design Center is pleased to introduce Summer Classics. Tour our fabulous showroom of luxury outdoor furniture by Summer Classics, including their signature Montecito line. Designed for year-round use and made from durable materials, find your perfect outdoor collection today. Summer Classics at Santa Barbara Design Center, 410 Olive Street.
Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. We are in Carlos's vignette and he did wonderful. And the most part I like about it, he says, I listened to me and he started with the rug. That was it. That made it for me, sealed the deal. So Diana, what do you think about the vignette he put together?
I really like it. Just like he said, everything is very balanced. You know, starting from the colors and the woods that he used, everything is very, very balanced. Also, the arrangements of all the accessories on this beautiful bookcase. Starting with a rug, he used the same colors that he used all around the room. He used them in the rug. So you started with a rug, I suppose. Well, that's what you said. And then you brought all those colors together. There are hints of orange, and the majority is gray in the rug, and you brought that in the woods in the room. You have the light wood and the ash wood, and then this one as well, you know, the metal that basically is brought around the room again. And even in the pillows, you used obviously a complementary color scheme. You used the orange here, but then on the other chairs, you used a very beautiful grayish blue because those chairs have the lighter color wood, so everything is extremely balanced. One of the things that I also noticed, and this is something that probably goes to Venturi, a postmodernist, the way you arrange things here in the bookcase. You have the small elements on one side, but then it's balanced very nicely with a big statue on the right-hand side. So you have small elements, but then, you know, big elements on the other side and only a few elements. I'm very happy with what you did here, and also everything seems to be very functional. The way you chose the table, a very modern table, and then the storage spaces underneath, which again, by choosing this see-through table, you allow the underneath to show, which is it's beautiful, but at the same time is functional. So I'm very happy with what you did here, and I can totally see how your experience at the paint store, is really helping in arranging the colors.
And also you're teaching at the school.
Yes, of course, absolutely. Well, it's you have the talent, and every talent has to be brought out to life. So this is what we do.
Yeah, he's very good from inside out. It's nothing that you can teach him. He's very good from inside out. I can see.
Yeah.
And he did it very quickly, very efficiently. I mean, that's the indication for me always, because a lot of people that start thinking about it, it doesn't come natural to them.
Yes.
So this comes natural to him. He just put it together and I'm done. I go like, okay.
Exactly. Very fast, and that was my experience with Carlos in my class. He was always right on, He took a challenge and he just went to it. He just went for it, and I think he did a fabulous job here.
Fabulous. So now let's go see the outdoor vignette.
Excellent. Thank you.
Surely. All right. After seeing Carlos's wonderful vignette, we are here at Alex's extraordinary vignette. I mean, this is the very first outdoor vignette we have had at City College's design and summer classics furniture we used out here, and they're beautiful to begin with, but she put it fantastically together.
I completely agree with you. This is by far my most favorite vignette since we are doing this.
Oh wow, that's quite a lot.
Yes, it is. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's the first time that we are doing an outdoor vignette. I like so many things. I don't know even what to start with. I like the fact that she did not do the conventional thing, starting with a rug first and then moving up. She started actually with an accessory, the jungle theme. And
I have to say, I'm usually against it, but in this case, it has worked very well.
It worked amazingly. And that it's the way everything came together is just so sophisticated. You have the savage, the theme of the savage, and the way she brought it together is just so sophisticated. And like you mentioned before, is just an innuendo of, just a hint, of things. And it spills, the sofa and the sitting place, it spills into the dinette. And she used a triad harmony, and the colors are red. Well, actually, it's not. Well, it's a tetrad. I'm just noticing another thing. It's a tetrad. It's the red, the yellow, the blue, and the green. And the way she brought this together is just so subdued. And I absolutely love it, because the savage theme with the way she brought it together, it's incredible.
Actually, you feel like you're in a tropic, seriously. You feel like you're in Cuba, sitting down there, and it's incredible. I mean, literally, it's just incredible how she picks all this. Like this pillow matches that garnish stool, you have this pillow matching this. It's just so many things that they go around without noticing it, but you subconsciously see it.
You see the layers. I don't know if she intended it to do it this way. There is a lot of pattern going on. You have the pattern of the wicker, which is kind of a see-through pattern, and then you have it on the pillows, and then you have
on those
the
pillows, exact same thing.
The geometric pattern here, another geometric pattern here, and usually when you have organic and geometric, many times it clashes, but it's so understated that they go together really well.
She's very talented.
She took the pattern, from these pictures, so many things from these pictures, and the animals, and that's how it is in the jungle, right? You have a lot of patterns going on, and then, she has, again, just hints of the animals. Here, this leopard.
African leopard.
African leopard. is just amazing. And
And
then
it ties in with the umbrella that she has on the dining set. It's
exactly,
incredible.
exactly. And then, you know, this rug that's on top of the other rug, another thing, you know, the
Layering.
hint of the layering, okay? So you have the zebra pattern, organic zebra pattern, and then she brought it very subtly in the chairs, the pattern of the
let's go there,
cushions
actually.
in the chair, which is geometric.
And then
And
how she
it
does this
just
actually,
works
this
so
usually
beautifully.
don't go together, and in this case they're next to each other
perfect.
and perfect
It's
together.
just perfect.
And
It's
you have
just
the
perfect.
metal with the rattan, and they're just going again perfectly together. I like the way she did it, and she went extra mile, believe it or not. She went and bought those lights.
Yes,
She brought the
yes,
fruit
yes, yes.
and the eucalyptus, which again it shows she's not only talented, she's also done it from inside out.
Exactly.
She wants to do it right.
She wants it to be perfect. And then, you know, another just hint of color, you know, the red. She brings it into the fruits on the table.
Very
So
true.
just hints, you know, the red is such a powerful color. It's kind of funny that I'm
you're
wearing
right.
some red today,
Maybe you
know,
ask
just
her.
to emphasize this. And you know, she just brings it very subtly, you know, in the fruits
And then the
on
green
the
on the rug
table.
she picked
and the
is
green on the
grass.
rug, it's wonderful.
Very
It's
nice.
wonderful. Like I said, my most favorite vignette so far.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because it's one of my favorites
and
as well.
sophisticated at that time. There is a savage in you that wants to come out. That's what I'm taking from this.
Oh,
but
well.
very sophisticated lady. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate
I'm
it.
so happy with this.
Well, Diana, thank you for sharing with this, and let's go see the students. Once again, I would like to thank Professor Diana Costilla, the Santa Barbara City College Interior Design Program, and our fantastic students for showcasing their designs. We will have more SBCC design vignettes next week. Thank you for joining us.